Where's my phone? Where's it at? Where's my cell phone? Gotta get it back. It's not the sofa. It's not my pants. If I don't find it, you know, I don't stand a chance. It's not in the dryer or the washing machine. If I don't find it, I can't work my game. Where's my phone? Where's that at? Where's my cell phone? Gotta get it back. I asked my girlfriend just to try to make it ring. Battery got to be dead now. I don't hear no ring-a-ling. Looked up on the roof. I looked down in the pool. I went home to the neighbor's house, you know, even asked them too. I said, where's my phone? Where's that at? Where's my cell phone, man? Gotta get it back. It must be somewhere. Where could it be? I just can't live without it, man. It's got everything I need. I looked high and low, I looked everywhere. Must have been ate by a dog or maybe a grizzly bear. Where's my phone? Where's it at? Where's my cell phone? Gotta get it back. Hey, wait a minute. You see my phone? No, man, I'm asking everybody. I looked in my car. Can I look in yours? Uh-oh. Dope. Maybe I'll get a cold beer, yeah. That would ease my mind. I opened up the refrigerator door, baby. What did I find? Oh, that's my phone. That's where it's at. It's my cell phone. I got it back.
The name of that song is titled Where's My Phone? And that was written and recorded by my special guest today, Lloyd Jones of the Lloyd Jones Band. He will be playing Saturday, March the 18th, tomorrow night, at Conway Muse at 8 o'clock p.m. He has a new album that he's promoting called Tennessee Run. Lloyd, welcome to the Friday Afternoon Music Mix.
Hey, Greg, thank you for having me, and especially for Tom at having me to Conway Muse. It's been a while, and I adore that place, so I appreciate you both letting people know.
Isn't that a wonderful place to perform?
It is. It's like somebody's house.
We've got to talk about your new album. Tell me a little bit about it. I saw also that you had won the CBA Muddy Award for this album.
And on a national level, it was under that category, which I thought was great because that's my hometown. And so the fact that they understood that this was, released on a larger scale, and that generally I do get to go to Europe and travel around the country and so on still. And we've had a break in the action for a while, so we're glad to get back out in the van.
You are from Portland, Oregon, and you still reside there.
Yeah, I love it here. And when I was younger, I thought I wanted to get away from this hick town, and see the U.S. in my Chevrolet, and I wanted to get out there. But as I traveled around, I really got to appreciate that where I live, you've got the beach, you've got the desert, you've got the mountains, you've got all the gorge to the Columbia Gorge. And I thought every state had that. And I started seeing these flatlands and things, and a lot of places I just didn't want to live. And I thought, well, I can just go to those places. I don't have to live in them.
It is a beautiful city. The new album, you travel now with a 6-piece band, I understand.
Generally, I do in festival season when they've got a budget to do that. But in the wintertime, it's mainly nightclubs and that kind of thing. And I've through COVID especially, I worked more as a solo acoustic act, and the next recording will probably be just straight solo acoustic thing. I've never written in that genre, so that's what I've been doing. So now I've got to get back and freshen up with the band, and I'm using a quartet in the wintertime. And it's a tough little group. It's a really tough group, and I'm enjoying the elbow room of that. When you got the horns, you got to stay right to the arrangement. You can't even take another solo because they're reading down the chart. So there's a lot of fun in the mean little machine of the quartet.
I wanted to ask you about a guy that you recorded with on here. I also know that you are tremendous friends. He said something very kind about you on your website, a guy that I respect and I've seen about 5 times in concert, and that's Delbert McClinton.
Yeah, man, oh man, real deal.
Oh God, is he ever?
When he tells a story, you really get it. His voice has got a delivery that makes you want to sit down and hear what's going on. People just adore that. I think there's a lot to be said for just his character and the delivery of the story. But he loves music and he loves people. With those cruises, I was lucky enough to get invited on his cruise many times. He'd pull up a chair and sit down. He'd just be watching like that, like, yeah. He just really enjoys people and music, and so he's a treasure.
You were mentioning that you were on his annual Sandy Beaches cruise.
Yeah.
That he does.
I mean, what he's been doing is bringing songwriters together. And instead of like going to see somebody at a concert, you spend a week on the ship. You're in line getting your food at lunch, and there's Big Al, and and you can go hang out and ask questions, and you'll see somebody you haven't seen before, and then you'll see him having lunch or something. You run over and say, "Hey man, well, I got a question for you." And everybody shares. So it's like music camp with incredible people bringing all this songwriting dimension that they all see things differently. They all sing life differently, and they all deliver differently. And you get inspired by that big time.
You have shared the stage over the last 30 years with many of the blues and R&B and roots groups that everyone knows about. One of them was my recent guest on here a couple months ago, was Tommy Castro.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. Very nice fellow.
Very nice fellow. He's another guy that's really good with people. He hosts a lot of the stuff on some of the other blues cruises. And we did a recording together on the Telarc label. It was with Double Trouble. It was called Triple Trouble with Jimmy Hall.
Oh, with Jimmy Hall.
Got to check out Jimmy Hall. If your listeners don't know about Jimmy Hall, the best there ever was. Telarc came to Tommy Castro and asked him about doing this compilation record. They do a different one every year. And Tommy was nice enough to suggest me. And they came to me and I said, Jimmy Hall. And he said, that's what Tommy Castro said too. So we had a blast making that recording. And Tommy Castro was like a gracious host. We throw the song around. I thought we were there to bring songs, and they just showed up. And Tommy Castro saw a pile of records or CDs, on a chair. And he's going through them. He says, let's do this old James Brown song. Why don't you play guitar? Why don't you sing it? And then you do the sax solo. And we ran through it just once. He'd play it and we'd listen to it, and then we'd just play it. And he didn't have time to worry, and I brought stuff with a bunch of lyrics that went by pretty fast. And I gave everybody a piece of paper, say, I'll sing the first verse and I play a solo. Then you sing the second verse, play a solo. You sing the third verse, play a solo. I started in on it, and in the back I can hear Tommy and Jimmy Hall making fun of me while I'm singing. Is he that old, really? And so that set the tone that when they would sing, then we'd start in on them. And it had a great vibe to that whole recording too. Called Triple Trouble. I don't even know if you can ever find it on Telarc, but I always try to go see Tommy Castro when he's in the area. And I missed him this time. I didn't know. I called him the next day and said, I'm sorry, nobody told me. But I always go search him out because he's tough as nails.
Let's do a second song from your new album that you've chosen. This is True Love Never Dies.
Yeah, man.
You don't hold me like you own me. You don't kiss me like you miss me. I said, baby, that's the truth. Turn me loose. You don't love me anymore. Not the way you used to love me before. Baby, you know that's the truth. Turn me loose. It's a crying shame. Try to live this way. You know what we got to do. Baby, you know that's true. Come on, baby, turn me loose.
Tell me a little bit too, Lloyd. You have had accolades from one end of the scale to the other over the last 30 years. One that I noticed that really jumped out at me is that you're an inductee and a member of the Oregon Music Hall of Fame.
That's because I'm old.
You're not as
But,
old
you know,
as I am.
well, I treasure that because that was in 2007, and Paul DeLay had just passed away, and his sister asked if I would accept his award. And Mel Brown, legendary drummer, was awarded that same time. John Kuntz and Steve Bradley. Now, these are all people that I grew up listening to and being huge fans of. So I remember that day of just my friends all around, and so it's kind of an honor to be included in the community.
I want to point out that my special guest today is Lloyd Jones from the Lloyd Jones Band. Please go and take a look at his website, lloydjonesmusic.com, and you can see on his social media, it's facebook.com/Lloyd Jones Music, the same for Spotify.com and also for Instagram.com. And let's go one further, Twitter.com, Lloyd Jones Music. He has a new album is out called Tennessee Run, and he will be playing Saturday, March the 18th at Conway Muse in Conway, Washington at 8 o'clock p.m. Tom was kind enough to introduce us. I really appreciate that because I listened to a lot of the cuts and obtained this new album, Tennessee Run. This is a great album. It looks like you put your heart and soul into this.
It was kind of a magical and bizarre experience, and part of it happened at Conway Muse. First of all, Delbert had had a heart attack. I didn't know it. Anson Funderburg came into one of my gigs and said, "You ought to call him. He had a heart attack and they'd like to hear from him." So I called him and said, "It wasn't a heart attack. It was just a stint, you know." He's like, but we talked for a bit and he said, "Well, you should just bring your wife to the cruise and you don't have to play or bring the band. Just come as guest." So I did. So I went to thank Anson while he was playing. He says, "Oh, here, play my guitar." And he just hands it to me, plugged into the amp. I went, no. I was just thanking you. Well, I wound up playing with the group, finishing out the set. Kevin McKendry, the keyboard player, said, "You should come out and record at my place." And then I bought Delbert's record, John Hyatt's new record, and the band I sat in with Anson with. And I was really digging them. And I went, "Who produced this?" Because they didn't overproduce it. They really got the character of the artist. It was Kevin, the piano player, who said, "You should come to my place and record." So I called him back and said, "Well, I'll just come out there and throw some songs at you, and you can go out there." And they don't waste any time. They go, "What's the first one?" He played it on the piano. He says, "Play that little lick twice at the bridge, and then don't play it anymore. Tag the ending. What's the next one?" And we're doing this one after the other. And the phone rings. Gary Nicholson says, "You want to go over to Gary's house?" Gary Nicholson's the guy that co-wrote a lot of Delbert stuff, makes a living as a producer in Nashville. Now that's saying something. He says, "You want to go over to his house?" I went, "Uh-huh." And we go over there until about 2 a.m. We're just throwing stuff around, you know. And the next day, Kevin says, "Well, did you get that last night?" And I said, "Well, I had a ball. That was really fun." He says, "No, did you get that?" I went, "What do you mean?" "On your phone." I said, "What?" The whole time, Gary Nicholson was typing in his laptop. I wondered what he was doing. He was singing into the laptop and he was typing form to what we were doing. He played it back for me. I went, "Oh, that looks good. Yeah, I like that solo." And I wouldn't have thought of those lyrics on the breakdown, but I think that's a good idea because I wouldn't have thought of that. And he goes, "That's what we were doing." I mean, they just put form to everything and get it done. They don't waste any time, and they're really good at it. He's all excited about, "Let's do this." I said, I told you I don't have any money." Okay. I went to Conway Muse, and I'm playing. Patty O'Leary is playing before me. She got all excited about her new CD that she got the money on Kickstarter. And I went, "Oh, I couldn't do that." She says, "I'll show you." And she walked me through it. "Now do this. Now do this. No, now do this." And really took me by the hand of doing each step. Okay. And don't ask for too much money. Okay. It's more important to get the money than to lose it because you asked for too much. Okay. Okay. So I got some money and I went back to him and I said, "I got some money." We start laying down the tracks. I said to Kevin, "There's this one guy that gave me some extra dough. Do you know who that is?" "I don't know him." And he says, "He comes on Delbert's cruise every year. He loves music. That's really nice that he's involved." While we're playing the tracks down, the guy calls and says, "Kevin, how's it going?" And Kevin says, "These are great songs, man. It's going great." And he said, well, just tell Lloyd I'll take care of the rest of it.
Wow.
So like that, we just went for it. So Kevin tells me this tenor player, Jim Houck, I want him to do the horn arranging. Now, my keyboard player had been with me 35 years, got cancer, and had done half of it and passed away.
Oh, man.
So John Hulk is going to play the other half, arrange the other half. He did such a great job, you almost can't tell. But the ballad, True Love Never Dies, my old keyboard player did. And I hadn't heard those charts had not been played in public. Listen on playback. Second verse, you hear the horns come in. And it's like a breeze coming through the room. And it's Glenn Holstrom, the keyboard player who passed, standing in the room. So that song, for me, brought a lot of things together on its recording. There are so many friendships involved in making this, shall I say, bloom. It was effortless because of that. When I got there, the way the guys work in the studio, they said we don't rehearse and we don't play a song a second time. They said, just do that thing you do. Well, okay. So we just did that thing we do. And it was so relaxed, you feel the joy. It's got that magic.
Let's do a third song. This is one you were telling me a little bit about that you're really proud about, called Love Is Everything.
Oh, boy, okay.
Let's play that, and then you can tell me a little bit about that, okay?
Sure.
You know, gold shine just like the sun. An old diamond sparkle in the ring. My heart shines just when you smile at me. 'Cause love is everything. You take that food, baby, right out of my hands. You can take that crown right from the king. You can't take this feeling I got, only love can bring. 'Cause love is everything. If you got somebody, you got it on. Feel just like you're flying, baby, when you start to fall. Nobody in the world can ever hurt you again. I said, love is everything. You know the ocean circles all around this earth. And don't start on the moon, big as a whole universe. But only you can make it sing. I said love is everything. Every little thing you need to get by, every answer to the reason why. You know, more than the food you eat, more than the air you breathe, more than the check in the mail, more than the body got your bed. Everything, all you need is love. Give me some love. Got to have the love. Show me the love. Oh, can you feel it? Oh, baby, feel good too. Got the love.
Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, is that fun or what?
Yeah.
And again, these are the Nashville people coming together, bringing that joy to the song. There it is. And that was going to be the name of the record at first. But on the album cover, we finally decided I called it Tennessee Run because I made the run out. It was all Tennessee people on it. But if you look closely on there, you can see guitar case, see that on there. But the bumper says love is everything. Because when it comes down to it, okay, you're going to go out and you're going to make your money and you're going to do this and do that. But when it comes down to it, like the people that made this record, love is everything.
How many guest artists did you have singing on this? I know Delbert McClinton sang one of the songs that was on there, and then you had one or at least one other, didn't you?
Well, Teresa James. Now I met Teresa James on Delbert's cruise. The music felt so good. I took my shoes off and said, "I'm home." It's just natural. Well, I found out her band has been together since they were in high school, and it feels like that, And her husband plays bass and writes a lot of the stuff. Her voice is astonishing, and the songs are so down home. That Jimmy Hall, Tommy Castro, and Teresa James are friendships that I continue after the cruises. And she's got a new Beatles record out now. We stay in contact, and I just love her voice. And I thought, it's got to be Teresa on that song. And I said, you just sing the chorus, and she sang harmony to everything. She just kept singing along with the whole record, and we kept it all because you'll hear her voice and you'll say, yeah, Teresa James. Look up Teresa James. Go find her website. Teresa James is ridiculously great.
I will seek out some of her music. It sounds wonderful.
She lives in Los Angeles, and she sounds like you've known her all your life. I mean, when you hear her voice, you cannot not love it.
My special guest today is Lloyd Jones of the Lloyd Jones Band. He will be playing Saturday, March 18th at Conway Muse in Conway, Washington at 8 o'clock p.m. Please also look at his website because he has a new album that's out called Tennessee Run. He's very proud of. LloydJonesMusic.com is his website. So on Facebook, Spotify, Twitter, and Instagram, it's all .com/Lloyd Jones Music. The song we played at the beginning, there's a great YouTube video together for that called Where's My Phone? I hope our listeners will go take a look at that because I bet that was a lot of fun making that, wasn't it?
Incredibly. And the video guy I went to do it, he took it to another dimension because that came about that I was playing with Curtis Salgado for a summer. He said, we're traveling in this van and you have to have a cell phone. And I said, well, yeah, I got a cell phone. This is a while ago. They pull up and they're in the van. They got the big trailer behind the van. We're ready to hit the road for a while. And I can't find it. And he was so mad. I can't find it. The whole trip, I remember writing funny verses about all the places I'd look for the thing. And I never did find it at the time. Set it down somewhere and the battery went dead. When we did Tennessee Run, Kevin McHenry comes to me and says, we need 2 more songs by 2:30. Yeah. And I had all these little scraps of paper in this envelope where I keep my lyrics at places I'd been looking for the phone. And I was thinking of Johnny Guitar Watson when I put that progression together. That all fell together really fast with all the places I couldn't find my phone. But now I can't even imagine. Now there's so much on the phone. You can't be without that. Are you kidding me? You can't be without your phone.
It's the truth, isn't it? It really is.
It mess you up good. So the guy who did the video, instead of making it about me losing my phone, it's that I picked up somebody else's phone, left them in that position, and I used it to take that video. So I made the video on her phone, and she couldn't find it. The video guys spin on making that video. That was fun to make too.
Lloyd, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great time. It's a great crowd out there, especially a blues crowd. Have you got any more gigs that you're going on the end of the tour, or is this your last stop?
Last stop, we were supposed to go to Triple Door. I was doing a B.B. King tribute thing with B.B. King's old drummer, Tony Coleman. Changed the date, and so I'm just coming up to Conway, which is fine with me, and it's really great to meet you and hear your FM voice. It's mighty fine.
It's a pleasure to have you, and hopefully we'll get to meet in person sometime soon. Once again, Conway Muse, Saturday, March 18th. Lloyd will be there 8 o'clock p.m. Let's go out with one more song from the new album called Tennessee Run. This is called Turn Me Loose, and I know you said this is one that my blues audience is really going to like.
Yeah.
Take care, and thanks again so much for joining me here on the Friday Afternoon Music Mix.
Yeah, man.
You don't hold me like you own me. You don't kiss me like you miss me. I said, baby, that's the truth. Turn me loose. You don't love me anymore. Not the way you used to love me before. Baby, you know that's the truth. Turn me loose. It's a crying shame. Try to live this way. You know what we got to do. Baby, got to turn me loose. Turn me loose. Let me go. You know, don't love me no more. That's the truth. Come on, baby. Got to turn me loose. That's a crying shame, trying to live this way. You know what we got to do? Baby, got to turn it loose. You don't kiss me anymore, not the way you used to kiss me before. You know that's true. Come on, baby, turn me loose. Yes, you know that's true. Come on, baby, turn me loose.